Hello, my Global Echelon family. I have had the most magnificent opportunity to work here in Mexico, my beloved Mexico. And I just wanted to share the sound of the sea and the vision of the sea because, of course, you know that I live in a desert, and the sea has always been a great healer for me. When I was a child, if I were sad or or whatever was going on with me, I found that the sea would literally wash away anything that was clinging to me and holding me back or hurting me, and would take me on to what the sea really represents, which is this infinite, infinite horizon of potential, of expansion of consciousness and cosmic energy. They say that the seas of the earth came from meteorites. I can still not wrap my head around that possibility that meteorites brought this much water into our planet. But all I know is that I love the sea with great passion and desire to protect it and to keep it alive. It's wonderful to be here in Mexico, where not as much as my childhood in California, but this, you can still smell the sea, because in many places in the earth there's no smell of the sea, there's no life smell. But here there is that smell of the tide pools. And so you may not hear me through this time, but I feel that the most important thing is to focus your consciousness on this waves coming in, because again, to me, it symbolizes the tide coming in and the tide coming out, and the fact that there is an endless progression, an endless new wave upon the sand that speaks of the potentials of our lives. And so let's call in the light first and enjoy this background, or this wonderful, enveloping, beautiful sea. Close your eyes. And let's begin with our breath, and as we breathe in our breath, just allow your ears to take in the sound. So much more than the sound of my voice is the sound of the sea. So breathe in through your nose and exhale slowly as the waves come upon the shore. And breathe in, hold at the top, exhale slowly. So that our breath begins to be within the rhythm of the tide. Breathe in and exhale slowly. And reach up into the cosmos. Draw the beautiful funnel of white light down to the top of your head and extend it out through your solar plexus, stretching out your auric field. And as you do that again, as you draw the light down, imagine that as it goes through you, that it extends out into the sea. As you know, the sun, as it sets, creates that beautiful line of light in the sea. So extend your auric field out as if it were that light across the sea. And once more, breathing in. Breathing it down. Exhale the light. Let's take a moment now and imagine that we are moving into the sea, washing over us and within. As some of you have participated with us in our fire walks, we walk on fire in order to remind ourselves that our bodies are magical, divine, and do things we never think could possibly be true. And ever since I began to walk on uh, ashes and fire, I have dreamed of walking on water. I have read the tales of great fakirs that were able to walk on water, but no one has ever seen one do it, as far as I know. And so I like to imagine that I could walk on water, and it's very symbolic for us, which is our story today. How do we get above the fray? How do we feel as if not only will we survive, but we are beyond, and that we move forward in all of these energies? And so let us pretend right now that we are walking on water, that we can do that we can stand above and feel that energy that uses something like the sea as a base for our consciousness, and that our consciousness is in this higher level. Can you do that? Close your eyes. Take a deep breath into your body. You have seen this image of the sea, or maybe you see yourself standing on the water of a lake, or even a river. But just imagine for yourself that you are standing on the waters of life, the waters that represent emotion. Just imagine yourself and feel what that's like. It's attaining the impossible because through your consciousness you created. So do that now. And as you imagine yourself standing on water, walking on water, feel that quality of consciousness that is not limited by the laws of energy in the third dimension. That you yourself, through your consciousness, are a miracle. Open your eyes. It's such a lovely sense, I feel. And one of the ways that we could do that as well is to imagine that all of our troubles, all of our limitations, all of the what ifs, the struggles, all of that limited experience of self is underneath that, and that we stand on that. Because what is true spiritually is that everything that you experience is a part of the evolution of your soul that allows you to have that illumination, that aha. I see the purpose in this. I move on from this. I learn from this. And so that's a very great teaching. And there's a beautiful expression in Spanish that says, no hay mal que por bien no venga. And that says, there is no darkness, there is no bad thing that doesn't come for some good. And the good is the illumination of recognizing how it belongs to us, how we can utilize it, how we go on from it, how we uplift ourselves from it. And so let's go back into that standing on water, walking on water. And just for a moment, let's ask our higher selves to show us any things that are happening in our life, whether it's about COVID or your purpose or your job or your health or your relationships or your money. But to put that, see what your higher self shows you is the thing that you could stand on, that you could walk on water now, so that you can give yourself an imprint on a cellular level that says, I move on top of this and I go on. Close your eyes once again. Take a deep breath into your body. Ask your higher self to show you any particular theme for you at this moment that you would like to place in the water. The sea purifies everything. And then feel yourself standing on that. See what it is for you. anything at this moment, place it in the water. Feel yourself standing upon it and walking on the water. Feel what it's like to know that you will go on and it will dissolve into the great sea of purification. Ask your higher self to give you a tool that will help you to really perceive your power to do that, to literally walk on water with all of your consciousness, the capacity to be above these energies, to go forward, to move out to the infinite horizon. Whatever that is, place it in the sea and stand upon it now. Feel yourself walking on the water. Maybe out to the horizon. Maybe extending through your crown, through the 8th and 9th chakras. Elongation anchors the sky, as my great grandfather taught me. So the sky, the sea, and your life are all integrated. Really deeply, and tune in again to the sound of these waves and feel how they are supporting you, reminding you that there's a pulse in life. Because of that infinite pulse, you will never be caught. You will always go on, like the tide. And then let us send an energy to all humanity, that all humanity becomes aware of the sea. Even those of us who live in deserts or mountains or landlocked places, that the sea belongs to us. You know that your blood is very similar in its composition to the sea. And when you were in the womb, you were literally in a saline, sea-like womb. And that's why the sea is so powerful for all of us. So let's ask for a tool that will help us and all of humanity to begin to protect our sea and to align to our sea. And in that way, support part of our profound purpose in life. So close your eyes and ask your higher self to give you a tool that you can share with all humanity, a tool that will help all of us to care for the sea, to love the sea, and to know that we belong to the sea. A symbol, or an object, or a color. Whatever comes to you, just take a deep breath and draw that tool into your body. Notice where it comes in and feel it flowing through the trillions of cells of your body, so that without thinking about it, without trying, there will be that illumination, that capacity to extend your purpose and your awareness into our relationship with the sea. Hear the seagull and all of the creatures around and within the sea. Feel as if all humanity is aligning now to our source of the sea. Take a deep breath and open your eyes. Just take a moment now again to just tune into those beautiful white waves, that gentle pulsing of the sea, and feel as if that is feeding you right now, supporting your life. Just listen to that for a moment. What is true is that the seed is actually our mother. The seed is the source of the beginning of life on this planet. My great love to each and all of you. CB.